Hi, we're Green Circle, and this is our final presentation, Make Offsetting Count. I'm Manuela Cantalici, and our group is formed by Sabrina Benes, Angélica Santo Domingo, and Anna von Grisham. Our outline for today: problem, solution, business model, theory of change and impact measurement, market, marketing, prototype, planning, financials, and future strategies. Our problem. Did you know that the aviation industry produces around 2% of total human-induced CO2 emissions and so severely contributes to climate change? Did you also know that less than 1% of flyers use carbon offsetting options when airlines offer these? Students and professors tend to fly a lot for various reasons, but most of them don't offset their flights. As members of the UK higher education community ourselves, we identified through interviews and conversations why this is the case. People do not trust carbon offsetting initiatives due to their lack of transparency, and most of this offer limited options like tree planting, which is unengaging. Our solution. Green Circle is a platform that provides an enjoyable, impactful, and rewarding way to offset flights for students and professors. The more our customers offset, the more points they receive that can be redeemed with sustainable businesses. Together, we can make offsetting count. Our vision is that we will hopefully create more conscious consumer behavior regarding offsetting and influence consumption patterns for a more sustainable future. Now, talking about our business model. Green Circle is a broker model or a two-sided business platform. On the demand side, our customers, students, and teaching staff, with the UK's higher education system being an important part of the country's development and well-being and growing for the past 6 years incredibly. So the Green Circle now have a total addressable market of approximately 2.7 million people, where approximately 7% of those are students. On the supply side, our sustainable business partners. Customers go on the Green Circle platform to upload their flights and calculate their carbon footprint. This is then offsetted through our partner Gold Standard, which engages in transparent and impactful environmental and human-centered projects all around the globe. Then our customers get those points and rewards and can spend them with sustainable UK-based brands and social enterprises. We take 23% commission on each transaction. More about our revenue streams. We have two revenue streams from the demand and supply side. The price paid by customers to offset through our platform will be a 23% commission on top of Gold Standard's offsetting project cost. This was determined through a pricing survey. And from the supply side, once we hit a goal of customers purchasing with our sustainable business partners, we also will start charging a partnership fee through the platform. But we'll determine the exact structure and fee through continuous research as we roll out the business to phase 2 and 3. As a social business, the theory of change and impact measurement is vital for us. So we created a theory of change, which the full version you can find in our final report, and defined key impact measurements that we deemed critical success factors corresponding to the intended impact of Green Circle. Ultimately, our main goal and vision as a business is to help tackle climate change, and all our environmental impact measures feed into this goal. Within environmental impact, we want to reduce consumers' carbon footprint and encourage more sustainable consumption. We will measure this through tons of CO2 offsetting, number of customers, number of purchases from social enterprises, and improvement in consumer behavior, which we plan to measure through a qualitative time series survey. Regarding our social impact, we aim to positively impact social enterprises, which we will measure through number of purchases, and positive social impact on communities as a consequence of the offsetting projects, namely improved cook stoves, reforestation, renewable energy projects, biogas, etc. This data we will collect indirectly from Gold Standard, who measures their social impact annually and then report that back to our clients. Our proof of concept. These are some of the quotes from the evidence we gathered through our fieldwork in the past months, such as in-depth interviews, calls with entrepreneur, analysis sustainability, and surveys. This demonstrates our proof of concept that our solution was very well received.
And let me tell you more about our fieldwork. We're following a human-centered approach that allowed us to conduct 58 interviews and surveys with students and staff, academic and non-academic, at the LSE and from other UK universities. We tested our hypotheses to understand our customers' needs, values, and desires. Through our findings, we developed two personas. Here's the one for students and actually a photo of our interviewees. From this research, we identified several frequent patterns between our two customer segments. Our clients need to reduce their negative impact of climate change, but many times traveling by air is the most practical way, and sometimes is even the only feasible way. We have identified that on average they travel 6 times per year. Students on one hand travel to visit their family and also to travel with their new friends they have met during their course. On the other hand, professors and staff travel to do research and also to visit their family. They already think that they have reduced their flights as most as they can, and they really need a solution to compensate their bad impact to climate change. In terms of this solution, they think that regarding offsetting projects, the most important issue is effectiveness. That is why one of our main goals and values is transparency, and that's why we are partnering with Golden Standards to provide that trust to our potential customers. They also said that they needed information about their carbon footprint, and that regarding incentive programs, the most important factor was accessibility. Of course, there are differences between our two personas. For example, students have a younger age and professors give more importance to time regarding our solution than cost. All of these findings are included in our prototype and are included in our marketing strategy. Regarding our competition, we have no direct competitions as we are creating rewards for sustainable behavior. Green Circle employs a differentiation strategy as compared to all our competitors that only offers offsetting. We add the reward system component, which is our competitive advantage. Other services like the compensation that universities do internally or other platforms or airlines don't count with that trust that our potential customers identify during our fieldwork. We also found that our potential customers identify other category competition as donations and other expenses in sustainable behaviors like secondhand clothes and electric bikes are important for them. We are, in this sense, eliminating the complexity of the offsetting process. We are eliminating the lack of trust on offsetting, and we are raising climate change awareness and information about carbon footprint. Regarding our marketing strategy, on the demand side, we will have a referral program that will enable us to reduce the customer acquisition cost and gain more customers rapidly. Also, we will use our network bricolage. We will use our privileged position as students at LSE to create buzz and send our message to other students and staff. We have already have the compromise of LSE sustainability strategy, which they're going to launch in September, and they're going to include Green Circle as part of the umbrella of the strategy. Also, we're going to partner up with students' unions and societies As for example, the LSE Colombian Society has already said that they're going to support us and share our information in their social media. These are the three platforms that our potential customers identified as the ones that they use the most. Of course, we are going to have paid ad campaigns in these social media. On the supply side, we're going to start with a subsidized model to reduce the risk and cost of our potential partners to become part of Green Circle. After we have a sustainable and important customer base, then we're going to start charging a fee.
This is the prototype of the Green Circle app. So the customer experience starts with creating an account and getting verified. And then the customer can upload their flight details and calculate the carbon footprint of that specific flight. The next step would be to choose the carbon offsetting project that the customer feels most connected to. And that can be either human-centered or more environment-centered. And because one of Green Circle's core values is transparency, our customers are able to follow the updates of the projects they offset it with, either through the app or through the social media platforms that Angelica just mentioned. Once that is done, the customer gets access to exclusive points and rewards. So not only by offsetting, but also by recommending our app to friends and family. And then these points can be spent with sustainable brands around London and the UK. And well, finally, the customer can start feeling the benefits of a never-ending green circle. In terms of, the proof of concept of the prototype, here are some of the quotes that we gathered through the evidence that we undertook in these months, testing our prototype. So one of the quotes is from Popcorn, which is our partner for the development of the app. It's a Colombian company that has over 7 years experience with startups, so they're very talented. And then we have a bunch of other quotes from students that told us that our app is very user-friendly and visually appealing, and that they're very, very excited to start using it. In terms of planning, Green Circle has defined 3 rollout phases, with the phase 1 starting this year, and it will be a pilot phase launched at the LSE, and we expect our customer base to consist of 743 customers, given a 5% market penetration rate, and we aim to secure 10 partnerships. So with Gold Standards, that has already shown interest. LSE Sustainability, as Angelica just mentioned, they're going to promote Green Circle to the LSE community. And then another 8 partnerships with sustainable businesses through a social network and with the help of LSE Generate. In phase 2, in 2021, we roll out to all London universities, and we forecast approximately 25,000 customers, and we're aiming for 10 to 30 partnerships. And then finally in phase 3 in 2022, we forecast that our demand is around 129,000 customers, and we're aiming to have between 30 and 50 partnerships with both universities and sustainable businesses.
So based on these 3 phases, we estimated projected sales for the remainder of 2020, 2021 and 2022 based on 3 scenarios of 1, 3 and 10% inflation, which we thought were necessary given the current economic uncertainty surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. So through field research, we estimate that customers will offset an average of 6 short return flights per year. And we've reduced this to 2 for the remainder of 2020 due to travel restrictions. 1 short return flight emits approximately 0.5 tons of CO2. So therefore, our total forecasted CO2 offsetting per customer is 3 tons of CO2 per year. So as you can see in this table here, based on our rollout strategy that Sabrina just mentioned, over the next 3 years, we forecast high annual increases in our number of customers and therefore sales and revenue. Regarding funding, in phase 1, we will have 2 sources of funding. Firstly, owner's equity. Each of us will contribute £1,000. And also we're planning on launching a crowdfunding campaign through Indiegogo or Kickstarter, which we estimate will yield approximately £55,000. In phase 2, we plan to join an accelerator or incubator, such as Elemental Accelerator or Circular London, both of whom support social enterprises seeking to have a positive environmental impact, just like Green Circle. And we estimate to get approximately £15,000 from this, a typical amount in exchange for equity. So as you can see here, our projected net income for 2020 to 2022 is positive and increasing in all 3 inflation scenarios. In 2020, this is largely due to crowdfunding, so extraordinary income. But in 2021 and 2022, our sales revenue will cover all operating expenses in all 3 inflation scenarios, which is a very positive indication for future income. This also doesn't include any potential revenue from partners. We also have a positive cash flow in all 3 years. Cash at the end of the year is positive due to financing, but in 2021 and 2022, net cash flow from operations is positive. And so this suggests that we won't be relying on extra financing through debt or issuing stock in the future. Finally, based on our 2-sided business model and our mission to create a rewarding and impactful carbon offsetting platform to help tackle the climate crisis, we came up with a 3-pronged future strategy, Green Circle's 2020 to 25 strategy. Firstly, on the demand side, Green Circle aims to increase its customer base through expanding its geographical reach, first to all London universities and UK universities in phases 2 and 3 respectively, and then we're going to explore expanding to European universities as well. We also want to expand to other segments outside higher education, for example, young professionals who we believe have similar needs to students. On the supply side, we want to increase partnerships to give customers the most attractive discount options possible. Here we aim to secure big pioneer brands in the sustainability space, such as Patagonia and Eurostar, that will foster more sustainable consumption amongst our customers as well. Lastly, as a business, we highly value environmental sustainability and want to be as innovative as possible in working towards tackling climate change. As such, in the future, we want to offer customers the option to offset other transportation options, so other than flying, such as buses and trains, which from our field research we identified as a potential need for our customers. And we also want to offer new offsetting projects in areas other than the usual tree planting, as well as giving customers the option to invest in low carbon research and development. Thank you so much for listening.